You are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juan Zo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leck.
And together we are
Rope Break.
And family, I hope that all of you are doing absolutely great. And Jean-Paul, we have today previews and predictions for what is going to be Sunday night, Clash of Champions Gold Rush. So, I hope that you have all the predictions already ready, because we're going to be talking about every single match, possible outcomes, why, and what's going to happen with the matches after that. So how you doing, Jean-Paul? Ready for another pay-per-view on WWE? 3 pay-per-views in less than 3 months.
Yeah, it was, they just rapid-fire pay-per-views. Every pay-per-view we get feels less and less like a pay-per-view. This is no exception. None of these, besides really Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton, a lot of these other matches are thrown together within 2-3 weeks. Nobody really cares, or they're just feuds that are, just biding time until we get to the real feud, as in like the Bayley and Sasha Banks.
Yes, I absolutely agree. So, just go with it before, family, don't forget to watch every single thing that we have on. Jean-Paul and I have NXT UK, really great episodes for all of you guys. Also, we have Smackdown, we have AEW Dynamite, we have NXT, Monday Night Raw with Jean-Paul, talking about Retribution and revealing their identities. Are they going to be in Clash of Champions, Jean-Paul? See, that's a big asterisk right there. Are they going to be in there? Maybe they can be messing up one of the matches. Maybe they can be doing something. Everything we're going to talk right now, Jean-Paul. So let's start the show with a few that I don't think that nobody really can pay attention. I don't know that anybody's invested in this. And let's start with the Raw Tag Team Championship match, or the Raw Tag Team titles, and global Tag Team Champions.
Are they the women's tag team titles?
The women's tag team titles, and that's going to be Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax going against Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan. I love Liv Morgan, Jean-Paul. You know that I have a heart for her, because I'm absolutely in love with Liv Morgan. Not too much Ruby Riott. I mean, she's awesome, but I'm not really supporting this team that is put together just for them to get the titles out of Sasha and Bayley and Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. So in this situation, though, I think that Shayna and Nia are going to retain, because I don't see the Riott squad, getting the upset here. What do you think?
I'm gonna pick opposite against you, and I'm gonna hope that WWE has a brain, because who else? What other legit tag team do you have? The only other legit tag team was the Iconics, and you broke them up. There's no Kabuki Warriors anymore, so you don't have these tag teams. Put the belt at least on a legit tag team. Try to get some tag team division together, and I would split these two up and have them feud. As in Shayna and Nia. I know it's it's too soon, but it's is it too soon? Because nobody cares. Nobody wants to see this drawn out. Just have them feud. Have Shayna go over, and then you have Shayna challenge Asuka, or we're seeing Bianca Belair. So maybe Shayna and Bianca, and then you go from there to go for Asuka, but because they don't deserve the title. So I'm gonna go with the Riott Squad, but I think your pick is probably the smarter choice, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here.
Yeah, I mean, my heart will want to see the Riott Squad, because they've been a tag team way longer than Nia and Shayna. But I think that Nia putting Lana in 2 consecutive weeks through the table.
Thanks, Miro.
Because of Miro. Miro actually said in an interview, Jean-Paul, that he kind of thought the same thing that you just said. Because maybe they're doing this to kind of get back at me.
Oh yeah, that's not maybe. There's no maybe.
Supposedly, a member from Creative told Rope Break, he told me that it's not the case. He said, hey, people might think that, but it's not. It's just
it's like when Stephanie came out and said, Vince and, we listen to our fans.
We listen to our fans.
Sure you do. Yep.
Absolutely. So, I mean, hey, I got to report it the way I heard it, but, Jean-Paul knows the truth. And the truth about this feud also is, I asked Jean-Paul, are you excited about this next feud? No, because there's no build. And it's going to be in the kickoff show. So we're still in Raw, in the red brand, and we're going to go with the Raw Women's Championship match. That's going to be Asuka against Zelina Vega. I'm excited about Zelina because, we have never seen her wrestle a lot in WWE, but on their TNA days when she was over there, she actually had a lot of good matches as the name of Sarita and Rosita. So she was Rosita. And I want to see her fight. Maybe she can pull the upset. I don't know. I think that the separation with Almas and Garza, it was needed. Because just if they want to portray her or they want to present her in a different light, I think that is the right way to do it. Does she deserve a championship match right away? I don't think so. This should have been Mickie James. For me, it should have been like the rematch, Mickey James, or like Jean Paul says, I love triple threats. It would have made a lot of sense. It would have been a triple threat. But in this case, I'm gonna just pick Asuka because there's no way that Selena can become the champion.
No, and you're gonna change a title on a kickoff show. If you're gonna do a title change, you're gonna have it be on the main show. Asuka's gonna win this thing. This is gonna be a 6-7 minute match if it even goes that long. Asuka's gonna win this. Zelina, this is kind of just like an introduction to the singles, her singles career or singles run in WWE. It's like, okay, you have this match. It's kind of high profile, but it's still on the kickoff show, and a bunch of people were complaining, like Zelina and Asuka deserve better. Well, yeah, maybe they do if the feud wasn't built up in a week and a half. If this was Mickey James, then I would be pissed and be like, no, put them on the main show, put the Street Profits on the pre-show.
But Paul said, and I absolutely agree because there was no build. I was thinking the same thing. It's like maybe they deserve a little better, but then Jean Paul goes, well, it's only been a week. So why do I need to care about this when it was just put together in a sloppy way? When everybody, you, me, everybody in the social media world, they were saying, push Mickey James. That thing is on fire. Mickey James wants the title. Maybe she can win it. She deserves another title run for sure. Why not? So no, they didn't do that. They go with Selena. I mean, at least they're pushing her. The fact that she's been pushed better than her husband, that tells you, a lot about WWE now.
Exactly.
So let's stay on Raw, Jean Paul. Please allow me to just stay on Monday Night Raw. And let's go with the Street Profits, the Raw Tag Team Champions, defending again against Andrade and Angel Garza. In this one, I have to go with my Hispanic guys because if they don't win this, they're never going to win. They're never going to win.
I feel like we said this last time they went against it. What was that, SummerSlam or was that Payback?
It was SummerSlam.
Yeah, I feel like we said that then. It's like if these guys don't win, they're done. But that just shows how bad creative is, and they're giving them another opportunity because there's literally 0 tag teams.
Yeah,
but I'm agreeing with you 100%. I'm going with Andrade and Garza as well, and they gotta win because the Street Profits to me are so stale. They already have they're the longest reigning tag team champions on Raw in the past how many months or years or whatever it is, and I'm like, okay, they have that, but the only reason they have that is because there's no other tag teams. Tell me since they won it, which they won it from Rollins and Murphy, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
What memorable feud had they had? They had the whole anything you can do, I can do better with the Viking Raiders, and then
and that's it. And then this.
Yep.
Like you said, and we've been also promoting this. WWE has completely shut down their tag team division years ago. The days of Matt Hardy, Broken Matt Hardy, or Walking Matt Hardy with Bray Wyatt, improvising names rather than promote tag teams. And every time that a good tag team has been brought up, they ended up becoming like Ivar and Eric.
Yeah. You had the Ascension, then you did nothing with the Ascension. You had Sanity, you did nothing with them. The B team could have been a jobber team that you used to get other teams over, and the B team was just done.
What do you think about, very quick, because it's our show, that they have the network, we have our network, Bo Dallas going back to NXT?
I don't know if I'll go. I saw those reports, and I'm like, if they can do something with him, I don't know. To me, he was funny in NXT, how he was like, oh, I'm legit, Bo leave. And everybody was like, you're a piece of shit. And he's like, no, Bo leave. It was funny. Yeah, it was funny. So, if they use him correctly, it would be legit. Like I said, you could put him with the Robert Stone, maybe have men. But I think Robert Stone is only going to manage women. I don't see him ever managing men. So, we'll see what they do with Bo Dallas. I don't see him fitting into anything currently in NXT, but, we'll see.
Absolutely, Jean-Paul. Let's stay in the tag team division now. Now, let's move on to the Smackdown side of things. So now let's go with this match. Also, another match that is a rematch that should never happen, because this is, like you said, a lot of rematches just put together, and it's the Lucha House Party challenging Shinsuke Nakamura and Antonio Cesaro for the Smackdown Tag Team Champions. And in this one, again, I gotta go with Cesaro and Nakamura because Nakamura, at least he got a win on SmackDown. Like you said, it was clean, it was good. Nakamura hit the Kinshasa in a good way because normally, ever since he left NXT, he hits the Kinshasa in a really bullshit way. But now at least he did it good. So I'm behind my tag team champs that they should have never lost to the Street Profits. So this is the real tag team that you should be promoting on WWE as a whole. Build a division around Shinsuke Nakamura and Antonio Cesaro, at least for me. The Mexicans, they deserve an opportunity, but now that they even show problems with it themselves, Like Lince Dorado and Kalisto are having like a lot of like issues, so I don't think that they're gonna win the titles at all. And if anything, Kalisto should be portrayed as like just as a singles guy, should be promoted as a singles guy because he was already United States champion. So that's my 2 cents on that, Jumbo.
Yeah, I think the champs are going to retain here, so that's my pick as well. And with Lucha House Party, I would have them when they lose here. Kalisto will be like, maybe he tries to help, but see, it's hard to tell. At first, I thought Kalisto was the heel, and then what we saw on SmackDown, I'm like, is Kalisto kind of like the baby face? I'm like, I don't really know who's the heel and who's the baby face
That's
here.
Kalisto, Jumbo, like right there.
Yeah, he's like, what's going on?
Face or heel?
Yeah, but I mean, I think when they lose, that's going to be the thing. Somebody's either going to leave the group or they're going to kick him out, or whatever's going to happen, and then maybe they'll get another title opportunity down the road, or Nakamura and Cesaro will lose it to someone else, and then they'll get it from whoever beats them. I don't know, but I'm going with the tag champs to retain here.
Also, we just gotta go with them because they're better, and we both love them, and I think that they make those titles look legit. They are learning. They're good champions. The titles mean something when they're around Cesaro and Nakamura. So let's talk about people that have carried a championship with a lot of legitimacy or made the title good. Is Bayley. So Bayley is going to defend against Nikki Cross one more time, Jean-Paul. Nikki Cross and Bayley, for the 5th time in 2 years, I think. So another championship match for Nikki Cross that she's going to unfortunately lose, right? At least I'm going to say my champion is going to be Bayley, my pick. Why? Because Jean-Paul always says, Jean-Paul jargon, the money feud is going to be Bayley and Sasha Banks. So Nikki Cross is just like a step to get to Sasha Banks, and that's probably going to be Hell in a Cell. So Jean-Paul, your take on this?
Yeah, you said it perfectly. And what did we say on SmackDown? Alexa Bliss is somehow going to be involved in this, I think, because with her going on with Nikki Cross, they're friends, but then are they friends? And it's like, that would be an easy way out for Nikki Cross to lose again, like you said, to Bayley, that the 5th time. It feels even like more than that, as much as we've seen these two go back and forth over the past couple months. But that would be at least if she loses, then it's like, oh, at least it's not clean.
Yes,
because exactly. It's like I want to see Bayley come out on top and win, but I also don't want to see Nikki Cross keep losing, because it's like then every time you see her, we feel that way now. But when you see her, you're like, oh, she's just gonna lose.
Yeah,
she's just gonna lose.
The fact that we both say that is because she's been losing so much.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. Bayley's not losing that championship. She's gonna lose it to Sasha Banks when she's
exactly.
Ready to back. Manny Feud, Jean-Paul has been saying that years before we even start Road Break, because he said, when are these girls gonna fight at WrestleMania? That's been the Money Feud forever, so they're going to do that possibly on Hell in a Cell or maybe Survivor Series. Or according to Jean-Paul, he predicted Royal Rumble. She wins the Royal Rumble and then she's going to be at WrestleMania. So maybe that's what they're going to do. But Nikki Cross is not going to win that championship. No. Alexa Bliss, like you said. Sister Abigail and then Bayley covers 1, 2, 3, and that's going to be it. Monday Night Raw, let's go back to that Jean-Paul United States Championship match right there. Bobby, what is they call it? Like the almighty Bobby Lashley going against Apollo Crews. And this one to me is easy. Bobby Lashley is going to retain because the Hurt Business is actually strong and they're still feuding with Retribution though. So I don't think Apollo's he wanted an opportunity, he got it, but they didn't use him as a champion. He didn't look like a champion. So the title looks better in Bobby Lashley, at least for me.
Yeah, but don't be surprised though. Like you did bring up a good point. If Retribution is going to get involved in any match, it's going to be this one.
Yeah,
they kind of have a feud with the Hurt Business. If they could easily get involved in this, cost the match. So then that really, so Apollo Crews gets the victory, and then they can feud. But to me, if you do that, then Lashley needs to immediately challenge, either Randy Orton or Drew McIntyre again.
Oh yeah.
If he loses, but he needs to win. Then you know what I mean. Yeah. So it's hard if they book it like that, because if you don't, then he's just a loser. Then he had a really short title reign. 1-2 defenses. And then loses it, and then what? So I'm going to go with Bobby Lashley here, but I really could see the Isaiah Swerve Scott, and then Retribution coming out and costing him the match.
Yeah, it's a good possibility that they could do that, Jean-Paul. And the one thing is if they do that, I would much rather, for example, Lashley, Brock Lesnar comes back. and then they finally do the big blow up match with like Lashley, because that's the match that he wants. Like, I mean, yeah, or give him the title, like you said, and then bring Brock Lesnar. But at least, do something like make Bobby Lashley look legit. Make him look good. I mean, he's not the greatest wrestler in the world, but he's not the worst. And he's not the worst on the mic. I mean, he's improved a lot. You can say the guy is trying. Because the Bobby Lashley that we saw last year is not the same Bobby Lashley that we're seeing right now. At least he has some credibility. So at least for me. So Jean Paul, let's go now to SmackDown one more time. And now let's go to like ladder match. This is going to be probably the best match of the night, and that is going to be triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship to find out who the true and real and unified, the real or authentic Intercontinental Champion is going to be, and that's Fidel Castro to the right, a.k.a. Sami Zayn, Jeff Hardy in the middle, and the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Like I said, is going to be triple threat in a ladder match. This is going to be a great match. Unfortunately, we saw half of it on SmackDown, on free TV. So, but I think that for me, the fact that Sami Zayn won on SmackDown, it means that he's not going to win it, and that hurts my heart, because I feel that, like, I've never been a Sami Zayn fan. I've never been a big fan on him, but I just appreciate the fact that he's wrestling again, and I would much rather see him being pushed. But I'm going to say that AJ Styles gets the title. Right there, Jean Paul. I said. You.
So your pick is AJ Styles. I'm going to go with Sami Zayn. I know he got the win, but he got beat down. You see AJ holding the belts. It's like, I'd love to see Jeff retain, but like I said in the SmackDown, I could see, Jeff loses here, and it's like, oh, okay, now what? But I was the champ. I know it wasn't like I was pinned or submitted to lose my belt. I just, I didn't win. Let me challenge the big dog. Let me go after Roman. So that's what I know. So there's my spoiler for that pick. But, so I could see that's what they do. But, I mean, Sami Zayn winning the belts, I think, would be good, because AJ just had it. And not that he's a bad champion. He's, one of my favorite wrestlers. But, just imagine the promos when Sami wins it. I told you I was the Intercontinental. I was the best. I'm, holding both belts. It would be legit. I would love to
see that. Yeah, no. And if they do that, finally you can have somebody you can build a mid-card division around Sami Zayn. And that would be good, because Sami Zayn deserves that. Being in the main roster for how long? What, is it going to be 4 years? And the 4 years...
Probably longer.
Has he been utilized good? No, he just won this title, and that's the only title that he's ever held.
Yeah, but on main roster, he was NXT champ for a blink of an eye, and then done.
2 seconds, and then Kevin Owens, his best friend, quote unquote, it cost him everything. So that's what I think, that your pick, I like your pick better than mine. See, I can even be honest to the family, I like your pick better than mine, but for the record, to see who wins the WWE Raw Championship, my pick is AJ Styles. So let's keep it on SmackDown, Jean Paul. Let's go to the family affair, and that is going to be the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns debuted in a new theme song and also in new in-ring gear, going against his cousin Jey Uso. This, of course, I don't even need to mention anything. I just know Roman Reigns is going to win. It's going to be a Superman punch and a spear, and 1, 2, 3, and done. The guys debuted in new clothing. The guys debuted in a new theme song. You think he's going to lose the title? Hell no. Family, you're pretty much fooling yourself if you guys think that that's going to happen. Jay's probably, like Jean Paul said in SmackDown review, is going to have a good match at best, but that's just going to be. In the end, the Tribal Chief, how Paul Heyman calls it, there's no reason to this. He goes from Big Dog to Tribal Chief. He's going to retain the title. Jean Paul.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? Roman's going to win. I'm not going to be like, oh, Jay could win and you could do this. No. Roman's going to win, and that's it.
And done. Yeah.
Because like I said, let's AJ or Jeff Hardy or something. Not Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's the only one I don't see challenging Roman if he doesn't win. But AJ or Jeff, I could easily see challenging Roman, whichever one of those
that
two.
That would be really cool. That would be really cool. Like I said, maybe Jeff and Roman. That would be cool. The promos and maybe face paint, and hopefully it's in Florida the restrictions have been lifted, so maybe they can have a little bit of crowd, and maybe there's a little bit of crowd. What does that mean? No more words. So that would be really cool.
And I know he did say he wants to bring the Willow character, to go against the Fiend. So that would be cool at some point as well.
Yeah, that would be also really cool. And maybe, like you said, maybe a little involvement of Alexa Bliss, because we saw a little bit of an interaction. So that could be something, that could be also right there, Jean Paul, for everybody, right there. See? Alexa Bliss is staring at, I don't know if it's the ass or the title, but she's staring at something. So, you guys can tell me what is that. But like in Heyman is staring at Alexa Bliss, so where's the stare down like right there, like war. But let's go to like the Raw Championship title match, and this is gonna be an ambulance match, and that's gonna probably be the main event. Let's hope it's the main event. Why Roman needs to be in the main event? Can you please somebody explain to me? Please, Vince McMahon, call me. I can put my number right here and just be like, oh, it's because the big dog is the tribal chief. So yeah, anyway, right there, jump on. Ambulance match, Randy Orton against Drew McIntyre. And in this one, Jump Paul, I think that like Randy Orton's gonna get the title because the stipulations of an ambulance match give you like a plethora, like they call it. See those big words, Jump Paul, plethora of options, like to get the title away from Drew without being pinned, so he will still look strong. Maybe Retribution can help out Randy Orton. There's a plethora, like I said, of ideas that they can be pitched in, and that's why they use this kind of stipulations for Drew McIntyre to still look good, and maybe he becomes the chaser and not the champion defending. So my pick is going to be Randy Orton this time, because also you said in SummerSlam, it's like they're going to prolong the feud, but in the end, Randy Orton's going to become champion because Edge is going to be one appointed to come back at the Royal Rumble and challenge Randy Orton at WrestleMania. At least that's the plan as of now. You, Jean-Paul.
I mean, when I first heard that plan, I was like, oh, that sounds pretty legit. That's cool. As I keep thinking about and hearing it, I don't really know if I want to see Randy Orton be champ that long. Nothing against Randy Orton, but I don't know, like, what feuds can you do? Because unless you would have Edge, cut promos like, oh, I'll be back, and we see Edge on TV a little bit, it's like, oh, okay, I'm not going to have the same pop if Edge just first appears in the Royal Rumble and that's where we see him. But I would love to see Bobby Lashley, be a champ or do something. I'd rather see that than a long Randy Orton title reign until, April. But this match I think will be good. This one's probably the hardest one for me to call. Because I could really see Randy winning it. I could see Drew. But I'm going to have to go, just everything it's adding up. I'm going to have to go with, and there's the wild card of Lucius too. We didn't mention him, Keith Lee. He fits in this main title picture, maybe not in this match directly, but he could even appear because they said there's no rules. What if they go to load somebody in the ambulance and he jumps out of the back?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's no rules.
He turns on Drew, and maybe he aligns himself with Randy Orton.
Yeah, so, I'm going to go with Randy, though. With everything being said, I'm going with Randy as well. I love Drew. If Drew would be the champion until WrestleMania, I would be fine with that.
Yeah.
Because, he deserves it, and he's legit, but I'm going to go with Randy. I think storyline and everything, it's time.
And already Edge claimed his opportunity. He wants to have like a Mania moment. He deserves, the big Mania moment with people, with 80,000 people. I don't know if we're ready to 80,000 people to be in the same building.
The only thing why I said about Edge and that is just like we saw them at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? We just saw that and it was like, oh, that like I quit, and it's like,
It is, so we'll see. But what they said about the plans, that's what they think they're gonna do. Maybe they put Isaiah, like you said, and maybe Drew retains, and maybe they go with like Bobby Lashley again, or maybe a return Brock Lesnar, or maybe somebody else. Bobby Roode, they said that he was gonna come back, and they had a feud on NXT. Remember that? Because Drew actually took the NXT championship from Bobby Roode. They can actually be and then be like, okay, hey, I remember this. I was glorious.
But he'll probably just show up in Raw Underground and lose to Baba Ganoush.
With Baba Ganoush, with Daba Kato. That's absolutely true. So Jean-Paul, that pretty much sums it up for like the previews and predictions for Clash of Champions. Thank you so very much, family, to support every single one of our videos or content. Don't forget, Sunday is a day of like a new beginnings for Road Break. Everybody's going to like receive really great news. We're going to be announcing a lot of things. So, be there for us because we're going to be offering, like I said, breaking news for every single one of you. Road Break will never be the same again. So, before we do that, Jean-Paul is going to remind everybody where to find us in the social media world.
You can find us on Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, the original Rope Break on Instagram, and, of course, for the #1 podcast, the best podcast right here on YouTube, the original Rope Break.
Absolutely right, Jean-Paul. So thank you so very much, family. And next time you guys will see or hear from us is going to be after Clash of Champions, the whole review, every single move, every moment, every outcome, every single thing right here on Rope Break. So Jean-Paul, you and me have one more thing that is left to say. And that is...